Selamat pagi, good morning, and a big warm welcome to all who have tuned in to Intelligent Cloud Platform Forum, brought to you by TM1. I'll be your host for the next 1.5 hours or so. My name is Freda Liu, and we're here to talk about this exciting topic. And of course, there's some lucky draws at the end of this event. Ladies and gentlemen, intelligence has become a game changer for organizations in the digital age, and this leans on intelligent cloud as the digital foundation. Today, we bring to you industry experts to share on how the power of partnerships and an intelligent digital ecosystem are the keys to accelerate transformation and unleash great business opportunities. So before we begin our agenda, if you want to learn and/or know about how you can achieve analytic success, scan the QR code and download the Malaysian Leaders Guide to Becoming a Data-Driven Organization. You've got the QR code there. In the meantime, let's watch this video on aEdge. Healthcare is transforming at a more rapid pace amidst the pandemic. Hear more about how PM Care is navigating the challenges with swift and seamless digitalization adoption. Let's hear from Encik Kamal Aryf Bahruddin, Chief Operating Officer, PM Care Sdn Berhad, to share on the topic Digitalized or Disrupted inside PM Care's resiliency strategies. Hi Kamal, good morning.
Good morning, Freda.
And how are you doing today?
Good, I'm good. Thank you very much.
I'd like to find out a little bit about what you'll be sharing with us this morning.
It is about the how the digitalization or disrupted our PM Care resiliency strategies. Yeah, just to share with the public. Yeah.
All right, and I'm sure you've got exciting information for us, so I'm going to pass the stage to you.
Thank you, Freda. Good morning, everyone. Today we will talk about the experience of PM Care in embracing digitalization. So before we do that, let us introduce about our parent company and ourselves. Sumitomo Group established their businesses in 17th century, and our parent company, Sumitomo Corporation, was established in 1919, which is more than 100 years. In April 2019, actually, Sumitomo acquired PM Care. So they have established the vision for the healthcare business, i.e. establishing the sustainable healthcare platform that increases the quality of life in the world. So their direction of healthcare business is to establish the healthcare ecosystem in Malaysia and in Southeast Asia. Hopefully that can disrupt the market and improve the quality of healthcare. PM Care, let us share about PM Care. Once upon a time, in 1995, we were the disruptor of healthcare industry as well. We introduced Managed Care Organization concept, MCO, or the third-party administration. And we are now 100% owned by Sumitomo Corporation. With the Sumitomo on board, they emphasize on us to build a digital platform to capitalize on the data and ultimately to provide the healthcare solution to our members. So the direction with Sumitomo Corporation as our shareholders, we are no longer a third-party administrator or managed care organization per se, but to become a healthcare essential life partner. These are actually our TPA services. We use what we call this as MAP, Medical Management, Administration Services, and Provider Network. Okay. Under the medical management, we focus on we want to ensure that all the medical services being audited properly to ensure that all the coverage and utilization report being provided to our members. And ultimately, with the report, we could provide the wellness initiative to our members. We do have our 24 hours call center, which provide the hassle-free services. And now, actually, we provide our members with the mobile apps to empower members to access one-stop healthcare services. The other thing is actually we do have the provider network management to ensure the cashless treatment and nationwide provide services. These are our key highlight numbers. We are connected online with more than 4,500 top medical providers in the country, and every year we process claims, more than 3 million of medical claims, and we paid out 1 billion ringgit to the medical providers. With the medical claims data collected in a structured manner in more than 15 years, we are able to craft wellness solution programs to our clients in order to manage their medical expenses from rising unabatedly. See, the client, most of the client approach us because they want us to assist them to manage the challenges that they're facing to ensure that the cashless accessibility, the quality of care, and also the affordability. Okay, we also provide one platform to our customers in order to ensure that they enjoy seamless healthcare. Okay, this is a bit of history. We are early mover for digitalization solution in the industry. We can consider ourselves as an early mover for the automation and digitalized solution in the industry. In order for us to transform, as shared by Tan Sri Aznal this morning, okay, we introduce our company-wide automation and digital culture. We also do a lot of engagement with all the stakeholders, and we encourage bouncing ideas and experiment in order to create new and exciting customers and business experience. We always use collected, valuable, and actionable data for us to make decisions. And we incorporate new technology and future business model and try to become the market shaper. During this COVID-19, okay, we do a lot of activities on the automation and digitalization. However, we did some adjustment on our workplace with half of the employees working at the office and the remaining from home to ensure that there is no disruption to our services at all. We also engage continuously with our employees and listen to their challenges and to offer them to the right assistance as possible. In addition to that, we also be more sensitive during this volatility and uncertainty by reminding ourselves the importance of spotting the black swan and also aim for the speed over the elegance. Okay, the digital disruption or transformation means change. So 5 fundamental forces that driving the healthcare disruption in this country and Asia are the aging population, supply constraints, especially in rural areas, rising consumer expectation, growing financial burden, and technological innovation. In response to those fundamental forces disrupting healthcare, consumer-centric digital ecosystems are emerging across the world. Due to that, in view of that, we are also focusing on the data enhancements in order to provide the healthcare, the personalized and customized healthcare solution to our members by using the data, actually. During this pandemic, we could see that this is actually our app that we provide to our members, okay? We have 3 segments of it. One is TPA for the smooth healthcare journey, where our members can request for the guarantee letters, the medical providers locator, and they can check on their medical utilization or personal claim, whatnot, all those things. At the same time, we also have the digital health segment, whereby actually we do have the e-pharma, and coming soon in December, we will provide the teleconsultation as well. And we do have the Vibrant Living. This is for the self-care module. during this COVID-19, we can see demands from our customers increased tremendously for the long-term medication delivery. And due to the demands from our customers as well, we are introducing the telehealth consultation so that it's in and it is seamless to our members. We also noticed during this pandemic that the activities engagement by our customers for vibrant living model increased tremendously, especially for the health risk assessment and also for the mental health. In fact, the demand for the consultation for the mental health also increased as well. Based on that we do have, we will provide the comprehensive analysis for our clients to ensure that they understand their medical costs and the root cause for that, i.e. insights of their inside. In healthcare industry, data liquidity, i.e. the ability to access, digest, and manipulate standardized data sets is the foundation for all insights and decisions to be made. We are able to do that because we receive actual medical claims data as per their invoices and reports from our medical providers. Either they submit using the portals or via the APIs. With the reports that we do have, okay, we will then actually propose the crafted or personalized healthcare solution to mitigate the cost. These are the samples of the report and presentation that we have with our client. So we really utilize our data. We mentioned earlier, we are a data-driven company, and with that, it's easier to convince our clients what needs to be done. This is the direction of the company. Ultimately, like we mentioned, we want to become the healthcare essential life partner, digital healthcare platform. In the simplest form, we hope that the digital healthcare platform can make accessing the healthcare faster and more convenient by providing the interface that permits our customers to seek medical assistance easily, and with their security, their health data can be shared among the medical providers for the faster and better treatment, especially during the emergency. We are trying to build like the travel platform by our members can evaluate the offering and the pricing of the medical providers for the surgical and treatment for them to make an informed decision. Nevertheless, to move forward is not an easy because these are actually the platform. And especially due to our multiple database and application and legacy system, and also the concern on the security and scalability. This is why we prefer to collaborate with the subject matter. And we are partnering with TM1 due to their deep domain knowledge combined with the professional services, technology solution, which is built on the most flexible and robust cloud, connectivity, cybersecurity offerings to ensure that we can take transformation forward faster, more cost-effectively, and with great certainty. As your healthcare life essential partner, we are changing ourselves, and this is our journey has just started. PM Care 2.0. With that, we thank you.
Thank you for the sharing, Kamal. And yes, healthcare, this is going to be a big thing. I think made more important because of what's happened, in the last 2 years. For now, up next we have a video of SciDeck.
Cyber attacks. It is a complex crime by invisible enemies. It destroys your brand's reputation, causes massive financial losses, and ultimately creates distrust in a company's digital infrastructure. To prevent this, cyber resilience and active cyber defense is essential to predict, prevent, detect, and respond to cyber threats. The question is, will your organization be prepared to handle such cyber threats effectively? And if it is it protected by global standard compliance and recognized regulatory requirements? What we need is digital trust. Trust. It's what we build our Cyber Defense Center around. It's confidentiality. It's integrity. It's availability. Integrity. It's centered in our global seesaw. It's giving you peace of mind. And it meets all your cybersecurity needs. As the region's trusted managed security services provider, we protect your organization by conducting end-to-end managed solutions, from cyber risk assessment to cyber risk mitigation, and the power to control it all. So focus on what you do best. Build your business, transform your organization, and trust us to keep it secure from cyber attacks. TM1 Cyber, the digital trust for cyber resilience.
It's time for our panel session. We have some experts to determine the recipe for success, and is your cloud execution intelligent enough? Helping to dissect this topic, we have Encik Aznal, Vice President of Growth, Skymind Holdings, Berhad. He's an engineer by education and brings with him over 20 years' experience in multi-market IT and telco industries. Next, we have Mr. Hong Kok Cheong, Managing Director of SAP Malaysia, and KC is responsible for overseeing SAP Malaysia's business strategy developments and operations, as well as leading the acceleration of SAP Malaysia's recognition as the experienced company powered by the intelligent enterprise. Up next, we have i-Mahathir, General Manager, Professional Services, TM1. He leads the formation of the Professional Services Division to provide ICT services to enterprise and government sectors in the area of cloud, cybersecurity, analytics, and AI, and general application delivery. Last but not least, we have Mr. Thye, Head of Malaysia Partner Cloud, Cloud Business Unit, Huawei Technologies Malaysia, Sdn Berhad. He brings over 20 years' experience in telecom industry, focusing on business solutions, development, and strategic collaboration with government and enterprise. Good morning, gentlemen. We're all masked up. Good to see all of you here, which means everybody is healthy, and that's the most important thing at this point. Of course, we're talking about the recipe for success. Is your cloud execution intelligent enough? So we're going to hear from these gentlemen and get their perspective. We're going to start with our first question, right? Yeah. And I'd like to get everyone's viewpoint with the first question. And on this thing, and I think it is very interesting because you all represent different areas. What are your company's roles in powering aEdge for customers' digital transformation, right? And I'm going to start off with KT.
Yeah, morning.
What are your company's roles in powering aEdge for customers' digital transformation?
Yeah, so as a Huawei, we are continues to bridge the digital to everyone, to every organization, enterprises, and also to governments. Right. So in this, we are always taking a role as these digital technologies innovators. Right. These talent developments as well as ecosystem enabler.
Right.
Yeah.
Mahathir, a name I won't forget.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Freda. Yeah, for me, has been always been the enabler to the businesses in terms of achieving what they want to get out of the transformation. So we typically involve in getting their aspirations to something fruitful for them.
Right. Okay. And for yourself, Casey?
Yeah. So I wanted to smile. I can't smile.
I can feel you smiling. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are an application player in the market. Obviously, our main focus is into intelligent enterprise. And recently, we just signed an agreement, MOU with Telecom, providing our P1 solution for all the SME customers of Telecom, and our intention is to enhance that partnership.
All right. And for you, Rafi?
Well, like what my colleague Casey is saying here, Skymind is actually a software company or infrastructure platform companies, right? So how we use aEdge is basically ensuring that the policies and data sets residing here in the country, instead of looking at something else which is not applicable to the country itself. So we go on a one-to-one, or put it this way, a hand-to-hand journey with the company in transforming their whole entire digital journey.
Right. And what have been some significant cloud milestones that you've encountered in your respective fields? I'm going to stay with you, Rafi, with your customers.
Well, long ago, we were asked to to provide or to manage our own infrastructure, right? To a point where cloud was introduced to the market. It's not an easy change of mindset, whereby companies has already invested millions in their infrastructure. But when they got to know what cloud is all about and how secure the cloud can be for them, the change is actually quite easy.
Right.
You know, because in the long run, by the end of the day, it's all about costs. And maintaining these in the cloud is actually a lot cheaper than having it on your own premise.
All right. Casey?
Yeah, so this is a very interesting question, because SAP has been in cloud business for many years.
Right.
And I think some of the key cloud milestones that we have encountered today, most of our customers are using a lot of ERP. I mean, we are well known a bit, but we have also a lot of business applications, things like HR, expense, and all that surrounding those applications are using cloud. And in the early this year, we announced Rise with SAP, which is very much along the lines of business transformation platform.
Right. Okay. I'm going to ask this question to Katie as well.
Yeah. So for us, we have been we are seeing that the customer success is always our success. So having this, we are always in the number one priorities to help the customer undergoing or in their digital transformation journey. So worldwide, we have done quite a number of significant impact to the digital governments, to the enterprise, and things like that. And to Malaysia, we never forget. In view on our strategic partnership together with TM, we are continuing to develop a digital talent and also digital ecosystem. We have a lot of different like the SME platforms, right? Like these verticals, these digital solutions to help the SME or to help the enterprise in undergoing their journey.
All right. Mahathir?
Yeah. We have been undergoing these pandemic situations under the MCO condition for about 1.5 years. And I think one of the significant things that we have done throughout this period is to enable our customers to be on cloud in a record time. I think no doubt the experience for everybody was a bit stressful because we were like really delivering a cloud environment for a customer in a shortest period of time. Not only be able to do that, and we are also able to help them scale the infrastructure when it is really needed as part of as the transactions shoot up during the MCO. I think that's one of the things that I would consider as significant involvements with our customers.
Right. I've got more questions for you, Mahathir. So you've experienced Southeast Asia's largest migration. So how significant was that to TM in affirming the decision in moving onto cloud? And maybe you can tell us the story behind that.
Yeah, I consider myself to be lucky to be able to be involved in these large-scale migrations. Yeah, I think what's important for organizations is actually to have 2-3 things that they really want to achieve with certain activity that they want to do. For us at TM in particular, there are among the objectives for us moving to cloud is, for example, in terms of having some form of unified infrastructure.
Right.
Number 2, in terms of optimizing or benefit the better utilizations of the infrastructure. And number 3, in terms of obviously what Rafi mentioned just now, cost optimizations of having or running the infrastructure. I think that helps us in terms of performing the migrations, and we had persevered in our activities to achieve those objectives, and finally we got those by performing these large-scale migrations to the cloud.
Right, okay. Okay, now I want to talk about the Intelligent Industry Cloud Platform here. This is to both the KT and the KC. Well, I'll ask the KT first. What combination of elements would make an ideal cloud platform for enterprises transformation?
So come to this enabling this cloud platform for the enterprise. It's not only the cloud infrastructure is needed, right? It's also the connectivity part of it. So this comes with the 5G, this comes with the fiber connectivities. This is where the collaboration on the TM1s come in together for us, right, in this journey of this digital transformation. So we are hoping that through this connectivity plus cloud, and also the intangibles components like these services, professional services that we are going to help, and in view of the technology is new to the users, we are also putting on some managed service and also these others relevant supports to ensure that we help to educate, and we help to enables the customers accelerating in their digital transformation.
Right. Okay. So from Huawei, SAP.
Okay, that's a very interesting question. So I'd like to break down into 3 key factors. One is people, technology, and process. Right. Really, these 3 elements have to work together to make sure that we get a proper, ideal cloud platform enterprise. So from a people perspective, the business should focus on the business. Let the infrastructure and the business leave it to people like Telecom, Huawei, whoever it is, or SAP to be able to manage that. From a technology perspective, it should be the best and seamless kind of technology that fits the business, right? And of course, from a process standpoint, we use the word called optimization, and be able to make sure that we'll continue to improve the processes internally within the organization so that works get better. Today we do it 2 people, same job, maybe 2 people doing more jobs. So I think that's a perspective that I think we should look at from how we can be able to build an ideal cloud platform from an enterprise transformation point of view.
So the most difficult one is the people, right?
Yes, yes. That's why we're all here.
The rest of the thing, like the people one, where we have to work around it, right? Okay, do you envision phases such as IR 4.0 or even 5G, right, would require such robustness, right? And tell us,
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, all we're working on is basically providing the right platform for people to be able to make decisions. So when you look at 4.0 and 5G, 4.0 is doing an evolution. We use IR 3.0 and so on. So we've come to a proposition where data-driven type of organizations or requirements are very important. 5G, there's no real benefit other than the speed. So if you combine these 2, at the end of the day, what we really require is be able to provide information and data timeliness so that people can make the right decision, especially in a manufacturing and distribution kind of organization, where machines and IoT can be implemented in those environments so that information can get back to them so I can improve and drive better productivity and processes within the organization. I think that's very important.
Right. Rafi, your thoughts?
Well, basically, Casey answered everything already.
Oh, okay.
But then again, services nowadays are very complex. It's more complex than a year ago, right? So, for my take, if we were to have this kind of infrastructure in place, the provider would need to be 5, 10 steps ahead of the industry in understanding what side of services that they need to provide, right? So the best partner for any enterprises is always the provider.
Right.
Without the provider understanding that this is actually important for them to run their day-to-day operation, then, you know, they might not be the provider for themselves, you know.
Right. Okay. You know, we've got people joining us from various verticals, various industries. So, you know, from BFSI, from manufacturing, from logistics, from education, and even real estate, right? So can you share any use cases aligning to these industries? Well, I've got you here, Casey.
Yep. So I want to share a couple of use cases. Recently, early in the year, we signed an agreement on RISE with SAP platform for our customer Aspen Glove.
Right.
One of the key things they really want to do was quick to market and be able to implement the system very quickly so that they can get up and do their real business. And we did that in a sort of a short period of time. And that's really the advantage of having a cloud-based solution.
Right.
The other one we had was with Bank Islam, where we have just completed the HR project. And the reason why they go on the cloud was not because they don't see any software that's not very suitable, but it's more towards, again, gaining the kind of applications that they can be able to share quickly with their HR requirements, especially in the areas of talent management and a few other key components, which it's not easy to be able to do it. So going on cloud, those applications are readily available so that people can adopt it and use those applications as it is. So,
So what about at Skymind, Rafi?
Well, in regards of any verticals, businesses only look at one thing, productivity, right? Without having that in place or without having a proper planning to get to that, I would say, goal post, you know, is meaningless. So from my own experience in one of the largest FSI company here in Malaysia, right, it's all about automation of processes, getting departments to talk to each other, no longer being in silos. Imagine having an agent go out to the market and will be able to make a decision instantly without having to get the management approval, right? Because nowadays services are being rendered to the customers. The customers is always the priority. And if an organization cannot provide that, you are basically, you know, left behind. The power of data is basically the new oil as of now. Without that, you know.
Right. Okay. How about at you know, Huawei, KT?
Yeah. So maybe I take it in the sense that when we are looking into the use cases, right, the most important thing is how it's going to use the technology or the digital services to solve the problem of the organization of the users, right? So we had to go back to basic, right? For example, when we are looking into this pandemic environment, right? So how you continue your education, your studies, right? How to continue to keep everyone healthy, right? How to ensure that we have the good delivery, send the food sent to the people on time, right? So all these are the use cases that we can start to zoom in from the angle of digital technology adoption in helping them. For example, I was suppose everyone know about M2U, right? From this normal transaction over the internet, right? Now we are pathing into the digital banking, right? So that we are able to provide this personalized service, customized by customers, right? And at the same time, it will able to give flexibilities, tailor-made these financial packages, right? Fit to the individual needs, right? This is something very important, especially come to the business, right? Okay. So on the for example, on the this digital insurance side, right? In the past, maybe you feel that regardless whether I need to use the benefits of the insurer or not, I need to pay this amount of premium. But with this digital insurance itself, right, it will become more meaningful because, for example, right, you can use the digital insurance to target on risk management, right? So in your car insurance, right, if this driver is a good driver, right? It seldom go into the accident, it seldom claim the packages. Maybe we can, through this intelligent built-in, the AI built-in into the insurance system, they were able to offer a cheaper rate for the users, right? It gives a benefits not only to the provider and also the user itself, right? Then we are talking about come to the educations, right? Maybe today everyone is familiar with the online class, right? So organized by the teacher and things like that. But look into this, right? It's always one way to communication to the student. There's no interaction, right? And then there's a lot of challenge, right? The teacher complained to the parents that the attention is not there, homework is not submission, right? So when we are looking to that, we are also looking to how to help the parents, the student, and the teachers to solve the problem by providing the hybrid classroom. Right. So when you have a hybrid classroom, for example, in a Huawei site, we have adopted this in Singapore, in Indonesia, in the Philippines, and a lot of countries, right? About having a smart TVs that enable the teachers to do the interaction with the students, and we can always keep the attention of students using the applications that keeping the attention, right? So via the key quiz, via the roll call and things like that. Right. So all this will enable the students have this multimedia learning, interactive learning. Then on top of it, we are also look into there's a need to assess and evaluate the performance of the student. Then where this online exam module also able to help them. Right. So come to the healthcare side. Right. We look into the Minds, etc. We look into the different applications, right? So in the past, it can only do this check-in. Now they have improvement slightly on the features. But if we want to create more people have this interest using the My Digitals to do other matters, we can take this opportunity to educate the users, right? How to path towards this digital community. By through enable a more super app in Node. So these are the, from there, they can start to, after they check in themselves, right, they will start to order the foods, they will start to order the grocery, they will start to do other procurements that they need. Then this will give not only the monetizations angle to help this industry to create more jobs, continue to sustain the market, at the same time it provides a convenience for the users to go ahead. Right, and nevertheless, one very important thing, right? In the past, right, we had to order, and then only this Grab driver try to pick up your food to keep the food fresh in front of you. But why not we look into this AI built-in so that you can not only do a pre-booking on the food delivery. You can, as a provider, they can also optimize their route planning, right? And then at the same time, in order to save, in order to cut down the cost charging to delivery charging to the users, they can even do this warehouse planning, and also this truck delivery last mile, right? Planning so that using the AI function, so that they always make sure that the food is arriving at the dot, regardless regardless the time they order the food, right? So all this is the daily experience or use cases that I was supposed there's a lot related to the cloud, to the connectivities, to the AI, right, to the IoTs that you need to implement in your daily application so that it helps you in your daily work to solve your problem.
Right, and I guess, of course, it helps in productivity, it helps all these things. And I think when you talk about education, right, the importance of how we need this so much, right? Especially with, I don't know if you've got kids at school at the moment, or kids at home at the moment, right? If you have any questions and we have time, do drop your questions down, and we'll try to get the panel experts to address them a little later. So Mahathir, right? How does professional services accelerate the cloud journey?
Yeah, thanks, Freda. In terms of the adoption to the cloud, it depends very much on various organizations. Sometimes they have the muscles and they have the resources to do this on themselves. But more often than not, we see that certain organizations may not have the full stack of people to get them with their cloud journey. And that's where we at Professional Services be able to augment that kind of resource to them, doing the hand-holding to their cloud journey in terms of helping them out understanding what will be critical to their cloud, what will be basic things that need to be set up, for example. And of course, in doing this, we can work together hand in hand with their internal resource team, with the internal application team, and hopefully the augmentation of professional services team and their internal team will make smoothen their journey to the cloud. Yeah, that's how we see how we can be part of their cloud adoption journey.
All right. Casey, anything to add to that?
Sure. I think the most important when we do sort of a migration to cloud, especially a lot of people today are on-prem business. The most important thing is the user experience must be the same or even better. So if you look at it, there are a couple of areas that is very important to make sure that this journey is seamless and no change as far as user experience is concerned. Number one, it's about the integration. The integration is the same like what you see in on-prem, except it's on a cloud basis. You need the right expertise to do that. The other area is, a lot of people ask is about security. Because when I move my entire data to some in the cloud platform, the security must be properly in place to make sure that protect customers' data and so on. And the third one is about the workload. Because when we move, the workload has to be properly analyzed to make sure that the user experience, the speed, the way how things are managed are seamless. It should be the same. Right. I think that's the idea that I think professional services plays a major role in driving the right platform and the right things for cloud journey.
Back to you, Mahathir. Can you share experience where professional services lift great values to the company's cloud strategy?
Yeah, recently we had the opportunity to run an ICT blueprint setup for one of the organizations. Yeah, so we've gone in and understand and analyze the situations and so on, and provide to them almost like a step-by-step journey to cloud. And they are on the process of embarking to this journey. So I think that's where it is important for organizations to also understand where they want to go, and that's where PS can also help in charting the end-to-end journey. Either
the roadmap.
The roadmap, yes, the roadmap in terms of which workloads do they want to get first onto the cloud, and be able to follow through with the planned execution. I think that's important, and I think that is where PS would best help in charting that journey with them.
Right. Okay. I believe, I still have to ask you some more questions, Mahathir. So you lead the professional services in TM1. Based on your encounters with customers, what are some common concerns customers have in mind?
Yeah.
How much?
Thanks, Freda. Casey mentioned that just now, and that's what we saw regularly being asked by customers. It's about security. How secure will be their data in the cloud environment? And I think this is where I'm lucky, because in the sense of in our setup, apart from the cloud and also AI and also the applications team that I have, we also do have a team to work on security, and that's no doubt is an important journey or important aspect of securing the data. So the ability to secure the cloud environment is important. Firstly, to protect the data, and having a trusted party to work together with the organization, I think is also key to securing the whole setup and the whole environment as well.
Right. And I think, like you talk about security. It's always first and foremost everyone's mind. I mean, I've been talking about cloud as well. Where I am, and maybe we always hear the stories, the odd stories about it, and then so we put this unnecessary fear into it, right? I want to talk a little bit about scalability and agility now, KT. So aligning to any industry's disruption and innovation, what is the business cycle for applications and software? Any particular industry that is higher than the other?
So when we are looking into these business cycles, right, we can divide the industry into 3 different phases. There's in the infant stage, developing stage, and the leading stage, right? So when we start to zoom in into, for example, we start the leading stage. Today, you see the industry that mostly on the high digitization is on the communication industry, the media industry, the OTT, right? Recently, FSI also coming up very strongly, right? So when you are looking to this industry side, they have been utilizing the AI, the data functionalities, the cloud service to enable the different business services to the customers in their delivery, right? But and then the next one that we are looking at is the developing stage. Developing stage, we can see the industry can very much focus into the government industry, the retail industry, this food chain industry, right? And also the education, healthcare, other industry that coming out in their stage, right? So this industry, they need to go through a level of this intelligence adoptions and also have some sort like the big data and as well as data collections from this IoT and things like that, in order for them to unleash the potentials for them to move to the next level, right? But we are also looking to some industry due to their behavior and the characteristic, right? So like the mining industry, constructions, right? And even agricultures, right? Maybe because of the low value products, right? Because of the complexities on the building and the mechanicals more than the digital needs, right? So they are remaining at the low adoption rates on the digitization levels for now.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. Staying competitive, I want to talk about that, right? How are tech providers staying competitive while customers are spoiled with choices in cloud adoption? Rafi, can you take that question?
Ken? I think choices are always good, right? Customers shouldn't be only sticking with one. Right. They should open up their options, right? Like what I was saying just now. If the provider is not aligned with the industry, there's no point of you being a provider, right? So you need to be 5, 10, 20, 50 steps ahead of your customer in understanding what they do, what do they need to provide to their customers, right? Take it education or FSI or logistic or whatever it is. The industry is always on a constant change. And change is the only one that is actually constant. Right. Right? And if telecommunication provider or cloud provider is not changing according to the time that they are right now, well, let's move to another cloud then, if in the point of a customers, right? So, you know, like how we work with TM, I think we've been working for Alpha Cloud for the last 2 years. What I'm happy about with Alpha Cloud is that every time we raise an issue, they solve it, right? They understand the need that we need. You know, it's not only a matter of giving me a bill and ask me to pay. Their account managers is always with us asking, do we need more? Do we need anything else in order for us to provide that kind of services to our customers? Right. Because to be honest, Freda, I've always been with Amazon. Right. Right. I never look into a cloud that is actually here in Malaysia. Right. But when I was introduced, I have that feeling at the back of my mind, can TM actually compete with the global providers? Well, they can right now, right? Even though there is still a little bit of, you know, tweaking that needed to be done, but they are actually at par, and we are actually quite happy.
And I think what you said, right, you're on that journey, right? And you feel like you're in partnership. Correct. On this journey. I think that's also very important, right? And then we learn together. A question for Casey, SAP. You know, some industries will evolve more quickly in the IR 4.0 wave, right? What apps and software should run on private or even hybrid model, and why do you suggest or recommend that?
So as I mentioned just now, IR 4.0 is evolution. It's all about having the right environment, and today it's about getting better outcomes and results from the machines or the manufacturer or any supply chain environment that you have. So data-driven and any information that you have to be able to improve those environments are very important. So having IRA 4.0 applications on the cloud will give you the flexibility and also the agility for you to manage the entire environment. So you can select all the right applications. You don't have to build it by yourself. It's all available in the cloud. And that will give you that kind of seamless integration, not just about the information, but at the same time getting the right outcomes from the operations that you have. So it's very important that at the end of the day, it's all about making the right decision, making the right changes, like what Rafi was saying. It's all about changes, about improvements, about things that you can do better so that we can compete much better against our competitors. I think that's very important from a business standpoint.
Okay. Yes, just a reminder, if you have any questions, do put them down and we'll try to address them as much as possible given the time. Now I'm going to close off with this question. I think we can put it together, right? In your view, what is, we talked about the recipe. So what's the recipe for success in the cloud strategy? And we say enough, right? How much is enough? I'm going to start with Rafi first.
Human nature is never enough.
Yeah.
Whatever you have is never enough. Right? But I think for any country in the world, they do have their own data policy, right? What can be deployed and what cannot be deployed, right? And I think since the last 2 years ago, Malaysia does not have that choice in terms of putting certain data set onto cloud. A lot of this company would need to build and manage their own cloud. It's a private cloud that they actually build and put millions in it. And I think the step that they are taking right now is, especially from our national telco, is actually a very, very good job. I can right now easily deploy to any financial services, riding on the cloud that they have, riding on the certification that they have, right? So again, if you are looking into strategy, it's always about understanding what your customer wants and how best can we actually deploy it, and how robust that whole entire infrastructure can be in order for us to pivot, right? And like Skymind, we are only a startup and we pivot almost every other day. And if my provider cannot do that for me, I think the best way is basically to have that chat with them to see whether they can actually support us in the matters that we want to do and deploy all these services towards the industry.
You pivot a few times today.
Yeah. Actually.
Right. Casey?
Yeah, I agree with Rafi. I mean, it's never enough. I think I use the word learning, and every day is a learning day. Everything is new. I think there are a couple of key things I would like to share, especially what's the key recipe? It's about business transformation. It's not about technology alone. It's about improving and things that you can support your business or make things better. I think the second one is about simplicity. Things has to be simple. I talk about user experience. Things has to be straightforward, easy for people, because at the end of the day, people that use the systems are not technical people. They are just people like you and me who just want to get a job done. I think the third one, which was brought up by Tan Sri's side this morning, was I like to use the word sustainability, because I think it's being used a lot these days, and I think all the industries and businesses should look into this, because this is becoming very important, especially in today's business. I met a lot of CEOs recently. They do talk a lot about this, and it's very important. We need not so much just to adopt, but we all need to understand what impact from a business standpoint, and to not just people, but also overall environment of the society. Yeah. That's right. It's very important.
Okay. Katie?
Yeah, so lucky I'm not the last one to answer. It's always a tough one.
Give this to Mahathir.
So for me, I look into, when we are looking into these matters, right, I always like to echo what this Rafi says. They are talking about this how to be prompt in time, how to make this service secure, right? On the KC, we are talking about the learning, right? So here I would like to introduce another word, localization, right? Localization.
Okay.
Right. So when we talk about localizations, here we believe that we need to keep for a Huawei role, we always want to keep this global service for locals, right? So we localize the global services, like we bring the AI to Malaysia, right, together with TM. And then also we localize the service to support the local industry. This is important to protect the national sovereignties on the data informations, right? And the next thing is about localizations, this support, right? Localize the supports by enable more and more digital talents supplying to the industry to help the industry so that we can continue to sustain, right? And the third localization, we're talking about the localize the ecosystem, right? So when we are localize the ecosystem, we can continue to enable this industry, educate the industry, and also at the same time to bring the industry to a sustainable areas, self-sustained by itself, for us to go to the next levels as well, right?
Over to you.
Thanks, Freda. Yeah, I'm Mahathir. Being Mahathir, I'm going to give a more on the ground kind of answer.
Okay.
Yeah. One, from a technical standpoint, for a recipe for success, I think number one, you need to understand what sort of your workload, what sort of workload that you want to bring to the cloud. I think that's important. And on the management perspective, how do you define success? What is your success criteria in the cloud strategy? I think that's important because otherwise, without clearly defining the success criteria, you may have achieved something and you may not declare it as a success. But if you have put it up front, then that gives the feel-good effect, not only to the management, but importantly to the working people that's been supporting the initiatives all the while, enabling the management, the business to achieve what they are aiming for. I think that's important. Enough, I think we have been talking about technology all this morning. Technology is always changing, and in that sense, will never be enough, as what Aryf says just now. So obviously, but then again, putting the environment to the cloud will give the business a bit more agility from changing from one environment or from one application to the other, or from a modernization of the application. I think that gives the flexibility to organizations, and obviously enough in the sense that yes, you have gotten into a level, but that level will also give you the agility to move to the next level.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, the agility moves to the next level. Okay, now we got some questions from the audience, right? This one to Katie. What extra does this intelligent cloud provide compared to the existing clouds, which is already available? What's the,
Okay, when we talk about intelligent, we always associate to the AI, right? But AI cannot stand alone by just a technology piece, right? We need to have the practical use cases, right? To continue to demonstrate the value of it, right? So this will be one of the key components that the extra from the existing cloud, right? We have also helped, for example, in the industry, right? How to use the AIs in their production line for them to bring out their view, for them to reduce their error rate, right? So bring down the cost. Right. This is the so-called the extra value that we're creating from applying AI, from applying the data technologies.
All right. Thanks for the question. I think that was from Stefan Maria Susa, if I pronounced it correctly. A question to Mahathir. New technologies embracement comes along with huge investment most of the time. So how does TM plan to provide comprehensive solutions at reasonable pricing? Same question also for Stephen.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Stephen. I think if we look back a few years back, barrier to entries, especially in the analytics area, has been always high. Yeah, the cost to acquire the solutions from infrastructure perspective, from software licensing perspective, and implementation professional services perspective has been very big barrier to entry for newcomers to embrace analytics. But nowadays, with cloud technology, with subscription software as a service and so on, that has enabled a lot of organizations to get into analytics,
right.
and us for once also provide analytics for that matter. And I think similarly we're going to do that from time to time, because if you look at infrastructure investment or application investment, technology investment from an individual organization perspective, is going to be huge. But if you are able to provide that in a scale basis, large scale, then the ability, the cost to entry becomes lower, and that's what we intend. Obviously, from people perspective, we continue investing in terms of trainings and enablement on the new technologies is ongoing for TM, and that's what we intend to bring to our customers as well.
Okay, so thank you very much, gentlemen. I mean, so for me, the key takeaway was, I think like go, understanding that roadmap, and you need a partner to work with on that roadmap, knowing that, you're going to be pivoting every day, a few times a day, but that's important, right? I think the most important thing is that if you've got someone going on that journey with you, come rain or come shine, right? So again, thank you very much for your input, gentlemen. Indeed, an eye-opener for me. I constantly learn. I'm constantly amazed by what's happening. So do stay tuned until the end of the session, because there's some lucky draws, right? And this includes IDC's Unlock Digital Transformation Assessment Report, which is worth over 2,000 USD to 19 participants. A Huawei MateBook 14, a Huawei MatePad Wi-Fi, a Huawei Watch Fit, a Mi Smartwatch, a Mi Fit Watch, 5 MagSafe chargers, and 5 Seagate external drives. So make sure you stay on until that. Up next, we have Alex Yee coming on. So we'll be watching this PLAB video before we invite our guests. So before all that, it's time to unveil the CreatorSuite.AI for industry verticals. Please help me welcome Mr. Alex Yee, Director, Business Development from Skymind Holdings, Berhad.
Hello, my name is Alex. I'm here to talk about this exciting AI as a service. We call it CreatorSuite. So what is CreatorSuite all about? So when we look at AI creation, it has been a crucial and very impactful events that is going to happen and transform the digital business today, right? So for the past 5 to 6 years, we see a significant business cases being supported by AI. How is this possible? That is where all the AI models that comes in and apply to the real world scenarios, right? But we also see trending in terms of how the AI being created and easily used by users itself, right? So again, this is not science fiction anymore, right? We used to see this decades ago that we only see from movies, we only see from the novels that you read, but we are changing this. We are making it easier and also simplify that for the creators to actually make all these AIs into application to the real world itself, right? So from CreatorSuite, we have a set of modules to actually handle this, right? So there's a lot of different modules for different purposes, right? So at the end of the day, we have a vision to actually create a live end-to-end AI creation, right? So we have CS Serve today. CS Serve is mainly the serving part, whereby we have AI models already trained. We want to deploy it to different scenarios, right? For example, you have dashboards, showing you all the different AI models to be able to display on a screen, right? So that's CS Serve, right? And then we have CS Data Label, whereby we label the data itself, right? So we train the AI what is what, right? So we can do that from pictures, we can do that from videos, we can do that from text, we can do that from speeches as well, from sound, right? So this is where we actually do the data annotation, right? We label the data accordingly and tell the AI what to do, right? So model train is whereby all the algorithms comes in, to build in a machine learning environment, right? And also deep learning programming as well. This is where the model train comes in. And then once we have the model AI train, we can push it to the model stash itself. So model stash is somewhere that you keep all the AI models with different versions, whether they are accurate enough, whereby you want to have further development on the models itself, right? So this is where on the model stash comes in. And then we have data stash for you to actually push in all the data sets, right? So where we access all these data sets, we use data stash to actually access all these different data sets before we actually do the labeling right from there. So we have Express Marketplace as well. So this is coming soon feature. So basically, we have a lot of different AI models already trained. So we can actually easily purchase from a marketplace instead of develop from scratch, right? Once we purchase that, we can actually push it to CS Serve to serve the models itself, right? So sounds very complicated. Let's move to the demo itself so that you can have a better picture. So basically, from the website, you can actually push a login, right? again, CreatorSuite is sitting on TM Alpha Edge, right? So basically, you do not need to worry about the infrastructure place, right? So once I have the login, any user can actually sign up this for free today, right? And we can actually enjoy the AI creation journey itself, right? So from here, this is a workflow that we see. So when we want to have a design, a new project, then we see we need to add rule change, stuff. So basically refer back to here if you feel lost, right? And from the stages itself, we see it as we have a design stage, we have a prototype stage, and we have the shipping stage, right? Which is the end product, right? So from the design stage, when we want to create new projects, we access to rule chains, right? So rule chains is basically where we create the different projects. So if you have a project that, for example, I want to have speech recognition, so I can go to open up the rule chain itself. So this is where the what-if scenarios, right? So if I have different inputs, where do I key in the models, and whether if it's a successful thing, and it will be actually for the output itself. So we want to mitigate the very complex programming environment. So from here, we actually use a low-code environment to do that. So basically, it's a drag and drop functionality for you to actually create the flow itself, right? So the AI engineers will refer this as the pipeline, right? So we can actually create a lot of pipelines from here. So how do I access the AI models? This is where we go to a resource library. You can easily upload these trained AI models into this itself. You can use from there. So we provide a list of examples of the AI models. So these models are already being trained, right? So you don't have to train from scratch again. You can easily use this. And again, this is sitting on the cloud, right? You don't have to you don't have to train from ground up, and can actually access to here and use it to deploy to a dashboard itself, right? So from the dashboard itself, this is where we focus on the output, right? So there's a lot of different scenarios here. I'm going to show you one example. We call it a gender classification. When we launch this dashboard, so basically it's a very simple AI tool itself that we have the place for you to upload the images itself, and the AI model will tell you whether the gender is male or female. Very simple, right? From probability is basically anything more than 50%, it will actually classify either male or female, right? So in this example here, you're seeing a guy or male, right, that with slightly more feminine features, right? But the AI will be able to tell that this is a male, right, with a 67%. So what if I want a more accurate result, right? So I upload another picture here. Click tick, yes. So yes, so you tell me another picture of here. You can see a very gentleman looking here, so it's more than 80% male, right? So what happens if I want to have a different kind of slightly more localized kind of environment, right? So I have a pretty lady in a tudung, so even I cover all the hair features and stuff like that, I still be able to tell it's a female, right, from here, 60%, right? So yeah, so basically it's a tool that's already pre-trained for all this gender classification, right? And how do I do that is basically creating a rule change, deploying the AI models, and creating a dashboard. Pretty easy, right? Now the next thing is we look at another example. It's called facial detection. So basically, I have this tool that's ready to make a bounding box based on the picture itself, right? If you have videos that comes to civilians that you want to do identification for example, because there'll be people walking in and out, so for security purposes, we want to have to identify these people, right, from there. So we can actually dissect the video into multiple pictures, and when the picture is being uploaded, we'll be able to extract out based on the box itself, right? So, for example, I want to put in another face here. So the system will be able to straight away identify the face from here and match it with, for example, your IC picture, right, to do an identification, or even your work ID from there. So even if your face is on different type of location, you'll be able to extract this out. So how do I actually make this into public availability? So once I develop certain AI models, I want it to test, or I want it to being enjoyed by the public, right? So how do I do that? I go to the dashboard. It's quite simple. So once I created the models itself, face detection here, I can click on the share button here. It's already being shared. So basically, I need to copy the URL, right? So you don't need a special login for this. So any users can actually access to the AI models that you develop, right? So all these drop and drag functions is already there because it's being developed there, right? So this is part of the input that you can actually push in multiple images. So if you have a video analyzer, you can do that as well. So you can just upload the video, and then after the video will do out all the according to the AI models itself, right? So basically, there's much about the data. The demo itself, right? And there's a lot of functionalities that we can explore here. So if you want to have a look and feel, or even try to develop your own AI, you can actually just sign up from our website. And it's, as I mentioned, it's free for now, right? And you can have individual free user as well, right? So go to our website. Okay, you can click on here, get started for free. You can actually just apply for free. Right, and then we will see there's a different type of licenses as well on here. So there's individual license, whereby this is free for lifetime. You have team license as well. So team license is for people that want to work in a project that it can be easily shared across the team, right? And there will be a project leader to able to monitor this as well, right? Then we have the academic license as well. So this is more suitable for the education people. So basically, we are looking into using this as a development tool from the education level as well. So you can actually use this tool to train up, and there will be a single lecturer or single staff license with 10 students, right, from the bundles itself. So if you want to find out more, do visit our website, right, CreatorSuite.AI, and also follow our social media on this info, right? So from there, we want to make AI creation easily accessible for everyone, and also at the same time we want to simplify things, right? So as I mentioned, AI can be very complex, right? There are actually main 3 challenges when it comes to that AI creation, right? The first thing is always look at what kind of data you have and what you want the AI to be trained from, right? So you may have a lot of data, but you do not know what kind of data is the right data for you to feed to the AI. The second one we're looking at is skill set, right? So skill set is another thing that where you need to train an AI engineer, right? So it can be a painful and long journey for that. So we want to make this tool easily trained and also easily used by the AI developers, right? And then number 3, the most important thing is infrastructure, right? So you have to worry about the hardware processors, all the GPU resources that you need to produce or process AI models into a more accurate models, right, from there. So CreatorSuite is actually sitting on TM Cloud Alpha Edge. So if you worry about data sovereignty, that you have to have, Malaysia has this compliance, right? So from here, with TM Cloud itself, is sitting in Malaysia itself. So you can actually have the data being processed or also being created from there, right? So that's all for me for today. So if you have any things that you want us to reach out to us, you can actually follow us on our social media, or you can actually contact the support for that, right? So thank you.
Thank you for that, Alex C., Director of Business Development from Skymind Holdings, Berhad. Before we get on to our next speaker, let's watch this video.
The cloud. It's the accelerator to innovate without constraints. The cloud. It's changing the dynamics of businesses in Malaysia. The power of Cloud Alpha. It's game-changing. It's secure. It's industry compliant. It's ensuring availability. It's increased operational efficiency. It's seamless. It's robust. Working together with the best technology leaders. TM1 Cloud Alpha. Making life and business easier for a better Malaysia.
Doing it intelligently or right, a checkpoint of your cloud journey. Here to shed some light on why AI capabilities are needed to support business innovation and how TM1's intelligent cloud platform can take transformation forward for organizations. Let's welcome Mohammad Rajab Sulaiman, Head of Product and Innovation, TM1. Hi, Rajab.
Hi.
So the question is, which one is more important, intelligent or right?
Intelligent or right? I believe it's going to be both.
It's going to be both. Okay, I'll pass the stage on to you for you to explain yourself. Over to you, Rajab.
Thank you. Thank you, Freda. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Rajab, and I'm the Head of Product and Innovation of TM1. Today, you have heard a lot about the Intelligent Industry Cloud Platform from the panel, from the speakers. I'm just going to touch about what TM or TM1 can help you in taking your transformation forward. We have been in the pandemic MCO situation for more than a year now. I'm standing here in front of you, in fact, in front of camera. I do not know what kind of mood that you have today. That is kind of a new norm that we have today. We talk to the camera, but in fact, behind the camera is the audience. I do not know how do you feel today. If you heard about the announcement yesterday, we have moved to phase 3. Klang Valley has moved to phase 3, and we kind of have a bit of back to get our life back bit by bit. For those who have yet to get the vaccination, let's get the vaccination, protect yourself, protect your family, and protect the nation. It's not just life has changed. It's not just life has gone through a transformation or a bit of different way of doing things and different way of facing the day-to-day life. The businesses has also been in the challenge. We heard or we read about several businesses, thousands of businesses going bankrupt or has struggled today to survive, to sustain their business. So at TM1, we have built the digital foundation. We want to help the nation, we want to help the enterprises to move forward, to take the transformation forward, to be ready for the future, to be ready for what that we don't know what to come. So we need to be ready. So we have built the digital foundation for the businesses. You know TM for very long as the provider of connectivity. We are now call it as digital connectivity. That would be the foundation of the transformation that we want to take forward. And you know the 5G is going to be introduced by end of the year. That's going to be an exciting journey for all the businesses, for all the users out there. So you're going to have a better speed, better latency, a lot of other services that are going to come on top of that. At TM1, we are also, on top of the connectivity that we have today, we are also providing the data center in Malaysia. We are now moving into the cloud, so the public cloud, the private cloud, or in the form of hybrid cloud. So we are building this foundation as the digital infrastructure for you to build all the solution, the business solution that can serve better the end user. So you can have big data analytics, you can have AI, you can have machine learning, you can have the collaboration, the new form of communication today, and automation. So the aspiration of TM today is to help the businesses to move forward, whether it's public sector, healthcare, banking, oil and gas, utilities, you name it. You are in the industry, we want to help all this industry to be sustainable, to be competitive, to help the nation. How do we do this? As TM, we are multi-cloud provider. We have with us Azure, we have VMware, we have AWS, we have Ali Cloud, and we have our own aEdge. And that aEdge that we have today is the one being appointed by the government as the Malaysian cloud provider that serve the government agencies. So we have all these technology partners and we have all these clouds to serve our customer. So how do we deploy? It can be private cloud, it can be hybrid cloud, it can be public cloud, it can be multi-cloud. So on top of all this deployment model, of course, you have heard about the infra as a service, platform as a service, and the software as a service. All these are given when you're moving to the cloud. What's more important when it comes to when you move to the cloud or before you move to the cloud would be the professional services. How do you do it? As you have heard from the panel speaker just now, that's more important. That's more what matters in terms of deciding intelligently. So professional services first, and then when you have moved to the cloud, then you need to know how to manage. And that is also fall under the managed services of the cloud. So all this is being provided by Cloud Alpha under TM, and we complement all of these services of the cloud with our best cybersecurity and connectivity, the platform itself, and then we can have these and integrated and manage all the cloud as one platform. So what exactly aEdge can offer to you? Well, first thing first, you can see on the right-hand side is all about hyperscalers. The hyperscalers capability is scalable, lower cost, the secure compliance. So those are the features or capability that aEdge can offer to you. But what else that we can offer to you that is not typically offered by the cloud provider would be data residency, because we have data center in Malaysia. We don't charge our customer the egress, the traffic that going in and out of the cloud. We have robust design in country. We have 2 data centers today, and we are adding another one to complement and to make it more robust, especially for the government and for the banking and financial sector. So the design is going to be 3 availability zones within Malaysia. That is going to be a very robust design. We don't depend on the foreign exchange risk. We don't depend on the foreign exchange, so you can avoid that risk. As you know, TM is also multi-type connectivity. We can give you any type of connectivity that you want, how big that you want. And that will serve you at the very low latency that is critical to your workload. And what's more important to wrap it up on all the services that we give to you on the cloud would be the professional services and the managed services that you're going to have before you move to the cloud, when you move to the cloud, executing your migration to the cloud, and afterwards, so that you can have the best of the experience on the cloud. So we're looking at today's trend. Today's trend, we have engaged the customer a lot, whether it's the public agencies, whether it's government agencies, enterprises in the banking sector, healthcare sector. The first thing that they want, of course, is the moving to the cloud, of course, the infrastructure as a service, a platform as a service, or any application that they want to move to the cloud or move rather than having it as a solution base, is rather on the software base as a service. What we are seeing today in the trend of the cloud, or what we serve today of the aEdge, when we design, one of the questions that's going to come up a lot, in fact, when it comes to banking sector, would be the RMIT, risk management of technology. So the security is paramount. When you move to the cloud, you must have the right design, you must have the right security. Then any other than that, then is the features and the availability of what you can have on the cloud. You want to process more data, you want the data like a real time, that is high performance computing. You cannot afford the disaster, so we have backup and disaster recovery. And then a lot of services today, it has to come with the smart services. And smart services is on the cloud. We listened to Casey today on SAP, and SAP is also now, a lot of the workload now is being served through cloud. And lastly, the enterprise intelligence and big data. So if you were to have an intelligence application, an intelligent solution, you need to start to gather data, and you need to start to embed your application with the AI. So let's look at first how is the transformation that you want to take forward in the digital transformation. In the digital adoption or cloud maturity level, there are 5 levels. You can see on the page there are, for the first stage is ad hoc. Meaning your business, if you are just exploring one application, you are reacting to a competition, at introducing an application, that your business is still laggard. And then you start to build more and more application on the cloud. You're still reacting, and that is still going to be a poorly integrated product. Then you want to move as a digital player. You have a consistent product that you serve the market to all the solution. That stage is still not truly innovative. What the organization and enterprises need to aim for would be digital transformer or digital disruptor. So this is at the point, if you have a lot of competition in the market and you want to survive in this challenging era, then you need to have this capability to transform and disrupt. And this you can only achieve at the level 4 and level 5 of cloud maturity level. A lot of organizations today, the enterprises are still at level 1 and level 2, ad hoc, opportunistic. This is what we are talking here in Malaysia. And the specific industry that have really moved in advance would be banking sector. And you can see a banking sector, a lot of them now at the level 3 and level 4, because the industry in such a way that the competition is so fierce and so a lot of introduction. And in fact, today we have heard that Bank Negara have announced that there will be digital banking introduction in the future. So in the industry that the digital transformation is so required, then you will see the player or the organization will need to move to level 3, level 4 to stay competitive. So how do we do this? How do we make our solution, our platform is more intelligent, our application more intelligent? If you look through between clouds, and we are taking today specifically for aEdge, there are several services that we introduced to support the enterprise intelligence. Not to worry about the wording or the services that we have in the symbol there. What's more important would be the benefits that we can get. When you have the EI or the AI, then you can improve your efficiency a lot. You can make sure the expertise is being facilitated, and you can set the trend for the rest of the player. So this is how it's going to look like. When you start to think about AI, then you need to start to think how you need to collect the data. Without data, it doesn't work. You need to start to design, to gather data, to collect data in a massive way. So then the AI and the machine learning can start to play the role. Then you develop the application in such a way it's a containerized, it's a cloud native, and it's a microservices on the cloud. And then you can start to see the innovation of these services and solutions that you offer to the market. Of course, when you want to do this, you cannot run away to the fact that you need to have the connectivity. And today, the connectivity can come in the form of LTE, or in the future, it's going to be 5G. And the 5G form, you can have a better speed and low latency. So that's where you're going to start to think of applications that are going to help you to be more intelligent. So what's the possibility? There are lots of possibility. Whether it's a public safety, to the oil and gas, to the media, to the logistics, to the retail, to the insurance. You heard today on the panel talking about all this is about business transformation. It's not so much about the technology part of it. It's more of how you can sustain and be competitive in the business. And there are so much things that we can do. Whether that the transformation or the solution is being developed by your own people, because you can always develop it on the cloud without having to spend the capex. You make a mistake, you do it another way, you do it new way. So it's an OpEx model that you can always change how you want to do things and how you want to be innovative. So there is no limit to the innovation. So all industry can have it, and all industry can really be innovative in introducing new solutions and to serve the customer better. Look at the potential now for smart city. This is what TM planned to serve the Malaysia. We have the vision of digital Malaysia. We want to serve our customer. We want to serve the nation with our best connectivity, the digital connectivity, the 5G that's going to come by end of the year. The smart city will serve the community, will serve the nation better. How it's going to be? You're going to have smart city apps, always on your handphone. The government will have the dashboard to see all of these applications, the surveillance, the street light, the traffic light, the premises, the smart building, all these come into intelligently manage our life in moving forward. And this is important, as you can see today. You need to be improved, and it need to be different after the pandemic. I just want to take a bit of 3 use cases just to go closer to the AI use case. In the case of AI and the digital transformation application, you can have digital space, a physical space. You can replicate this, and you can have better accuracy. You can have better attributes, and from months to hours. So that's one use case that you can see between digital space and physical space when you develop things. Secondly, the logistic. The pickup efficiency increased 30%. This is all about AI. How the transportation of the path of the lorries and the trucks, the billing, and then the VAT invoice of the OCR. Then you can have all this efficiency increased by not less than 3 times. Lastly, this is the vehicle automation that we've been hearing, all this technology. We are taking this example related to the logistic as well. You see the path anomaly detection, reduce the OPEC, the vehicle condition, so that is always in the good condition, and the driving behavior management. And this is always that you also read in the news that this is driver fatigue cause accident. So all this is helped by the AI. Before I end the presentation, we have heard a lot, or we've been asked a lot by the customer, what would be the right cloud adoption, or which cloud is the right cloud for me? It's not about which. If you choose the top cloud provider, you don't have to think a lot of which one is the right. It's always going to be the right option if you choose the top cloud provider, whether it's Google, Alpha Edge, it's TM, Azure, or Alibaba, or AWS. It's always going to be the right option. It's always going to be right for you. But what more important to us, and what more matters in deciding, is about the connectivity, whether you get the low latency for your critical workload, whether you get the best professional services, where to migrate, which one to migrate first, what is the roadmap. That is more important. Where is the data residency? Whether it's going to be in Europe, China, Singapore, Malaysia. It's your decision, but it's an important decision when it comes to data residency. When you move to the cloud, you want the cloud to be optimized. You want to have managed services. That's more important in asking the question, is that the right thing that I'm doing today? When I move to the cloud, is that optimized already? Or whether I need to think about the modernization or the workload that I have moved to the cloud. What is the architecture of that cloud? And last but not least, how do I design the cybersecurity? Because we have read and we have listened to the customer, we engage the customer. There are news about the data leakage, the cybersecurity exposure, and all this is very, very concerning. But then if you can make the cybersecurity design at the start and make it right, then that's what matters in the whole of your decision making. So when you choose, it's always right when you move to the cloud, but what's in the cloud is what matters. And lastly, to give comfort to all of our customers, we are only working with the best. We are working with the best partner to deliver the best solution, to deliver the best customer experience. This is what our commitment to the customer, to give the best experience and taking the transformation forward for all of you, for all the government enterprises of TM1 customer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajab. I think what was important for me was do it right and do it intelligently. You can do it both, right? And so I believe you all put us all on cloud nine with your sharing just now. And also thank you everyone for staying on. You will be rewarded with the lucky draw, which is happening up next. So, we'll get that going because there's a lot of prizes that we'll be giving out. So I want to go through the prizes right now, okay? It's now time for the lucky draw. As mentioned, prizes are for grabs. You've got the IDC's Unlock Digital Transformation Assessment Report worth $2,000 to 19 participants. And okay, now the first draw is going to be the Seagate external drive. There's 5 of that. And the MagSafe charger is also 5 of that. And don't worry, someone from TM1 will be in touch with you to provide these prizes, to give you these prizes. So we'll get the randomizer happening right now to see who are the first 10 lucky winners. So let's see. Okay, congratulations to these winners. 5 of you will be getting a Seagate external drive. 5 of you will be getting the MagSafe charger. Don't worry, you can do a screenshot, but don't worry, trust me, you will be getting hold of these prizes. So congratulations again to these 10 winners. Now, the next one is going to be for the Mi Fit watch. There's going to be one prize for that. So let's get the randomizer happening as well to see who is the lucky winner for this one. Congratulations to Mama Ezwan, Zulkifli Chan. You got yourself a Mi Fit watch. Make sure you use the watch and get fit in the process, right? So congratulations. Our next prize is with the Mi Smart Watch. So let's see the randomizer again. Hong Man Long, congratulations. You got yourself a Mi Smart Watch. Yes, well done. And thanks for staying on. The next is the Huawei Watch Fit. Let's see who's the lucky winner for that. Said Fazil, Said Yusuf, congratulations on your Huawei Watch Fit. You know, there's something for you to use again. Now we're all coming out, so we can all go out there and get exercise and get fit, right? Next, we have the Huawei MatePad Wi-Fi. Let's see who gets to win this. I know you all see your name, so let it be me, let it be me. Noor Ilhana, congratulations. You got yourself a Huawei MatePad Wi-Fi, which will make working from home a lot easier. The grand prize is the Huawei MatePad 14. So let's see who will get the grand prize. Who will it be? Congratulations, Noor Azlan Ahmad. You got yourself a Huawei MatePad 14. Thank you again, everyone, for staying on. Congratulations once again to all our lucky winners, and our TM1 staff will be contacting you to redeem your prizes. A gentle reminder, if you want to learn how you can achieve analytics success, scan the QR code. It should be out there now, and download the Malaysian Leaders Guide to Becoming a Data-Driven Organization. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. TM1 aEdge Intelligent Cloud Platform Forum. If you've been having your lunch watching this, great. If not, it's time for lunch. I believe regardless of your industry, from the public sector or enterprise, the cloud journey is inevitable, and getting the right foundation is crucial, not just for efficiency and productivity, but also profitability. And on that note, have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe. Goodbye.